Hey guys, it's Tashina
Tazara.
and I'm with One Belief organization,
And I'm with Hear My Cry Foundation.
and we're here to talk to you guys about September being Suicide Awareness Month. So Tazora has a nonprofit that specializes primarily in suicide awareness and talking about the stigma.
Correct. So, Hear My Cry Foundation was founded in 2013. I lost my husband to suicide in 2012. So, that what motivated me to start an organization to bring awareness in our community regarding mental health and suicide.
And my organization, we're about diversity, inclusion, conflict resolution, mental health awareness, and teaching kids and adults positive ways of dealing with anger. So I met Tazora online. Someone else introduced us. Actually, Ro.
Ro. Yes. Hey, Ro.
Hey, she's with the Business Lounge in Dallas. And guys, you have to check out the website. It has a ton of resources for business owners and referrals and things of that nature. So definitely check her website out.
Most definitely.
And she's just a great resource for connecting others, as you can see, because she connected us.
Yes. Thank you again, Ro.
Yeah. And then she also has a beautiful office space. So if you need office space to set up a meeting or workshop or anything, check her out.
Yes.
So, but again, my organization is about mental health awareness, conflict, diversity. So the both of us figured it'd be nice to collaborate together and speak just with regards to suicide,
Yes.
since it's relevant right now.
I agree. So, as she said, that September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and so the color for that is yellow. So, I know a lot of people don't know that that color is definitely yellow or turquoise and blue. And what suicide is, I know a lot of people know what suicide is, meaning that someone take their life, but they don't understand the process of how it is led up to suicide. And so, it's very important that you cannot talk about suicide without mentioning mental health because that too goes hand in hand.
Yes. I mean, this year, I mean, pretty much I know in teens, because my demographic is teenagers, but really it applies to anyone. I know that about one, and I guess every 12 minutes, well, there's not a guess, every 12 minutes, someone commits suicide.
Most
Every
definitely.
12 minutes. And then when you get to talking about mental health awareness, about 50, a little bit less than 50% of kids have a mental health illness that's not diagnosed. So that means almost 50% of kids are not getting help. And if that's with the kids, you can only imagine what's going on with adults.
I truly agree. And my demographic is from the ages of 16 to 24. And the reason why I target that age is because they are more adaptable and they more open to not the stigma of mental health and suicide. They understand the concept of mental health. We're more open minded. So I feel that if I target that age group, then the whole stigma of mental health will be kind of elite because they will be our next generation to come.
And I think when we talk about stigma, I know, and this could be
But what is stigma? Like, what do you think the stigma of mental health?
it's just like something you don't talk about.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to depression and it comes to suicide, or no, not before suicide, anxiety, I believe, I don't know if it's just our community, because people of all ethnicities commit suicide, but
Correct.
I feel like we're taught subconsciously that there's something wrong with having anxiety. There's something wrong with being depressed. It shows weakness, so people don't talk about it. It shows weakness.
And then I just want to piggyback to let everyone know that it's always going to be a point in your life where you're going to feel like things is not going correctly. So when you're at that point and you feeling like there's no hope, that doesn't mean that you have a mental illness. You know, I mean, because life itself could be overwhelming and also could be overbearing. But when suicide come into play is when you're at that place for a long period of time. And then when she's talking about stigma, I think a lot of times that we feel like we have something that's wrong with us, but we do not feel open to talk about it because people are so quick to judge. You know, people are so quick to voice their opinion. So a lot of times we want to reach out, but instead of people listening, they are so quick to say, "Hey, you're crazy," or start naming the things that they have that's positive, but not knowing that those positive things they have, but it doesn't bring happiness within their life.
And so, whenever someone's experiencing moments of depression or anxiety, it's okay to reach out and get help.
Yes.
You definitely want to reach out and make sure that you speak with someone. If you're a student at school, check with a guidance counselor, talk to a teacher. If there's something that's a little bit beyond the guidance counselor and teacher, talk to a social worker. If you're an adult, just seek to get help, whether that's from your church family and you get support there. But I know most churches will have a counselor on site that is a professional that can help you. There's nothing wrong with having that discussion, like, hey, I'm experiencing this.
Right.
Because with a doctor, they wouldn't know how to diagnose you if you don't tell them your symptoms.
I agree. And so one of the things that Hear My Cry Foundation tries to promote is that just like you have a medical doctor, it's important to have a counselor that you're familiar with. And just like with your medical doctor, you do not visit your medical doctor often, but you do have a primary medical doctor. So when you need that medical attention, you're able to get it. So I think it's important that we kind of get in our mindset of having a counselor. Like, no, you might not talk to your counselor every day, but when you find in that time that you need to speak to someone, you will definitely have a counselor on hand. So I think that that's something that I would like to promote and let people understand that just like you have that medical, just like you have that dentist, just like you have any other doctor that you do not see on a regular basis, you should also try to connect with a counselor that you're able to talk to when you need help.
So don't you guys have something in partnership right now that you guys are offering counseling?
Yes. So with my organization, we have a couple of programs that we're planning out. But actually, we have a counseling. We partner with a counseling firm. It's called Unique Clique with April Givens. So when someone reach out to Hear My Cry Foundation and they're needing help, we're able to provide free counseling for that individual. So they will contact myself and then let me know what all they need, and then they will be transferred over to April, and she have a lot of different counselors that you'll be able to pick from females to males to different ethnicity, all of that. So that's one of the things that Hear My Cry Foundation offer. We also train faith-based institutions as well, and I think that is so important because a lot of times it's hard to bridge that gap between mental health and religion. I know a lot of times that.
Why do you think that is?
And I think it's just because they don't have the resources and they don't know themselves. I think that if the churches have the resources, just like if someone come in and say they homeless and they able to give the resources of finding a place to live, they do not have the resources of when a member come in and say that they dealing with mental illness or they feeling suicidal. They don't know, so they just tell them to pray, which I'm not saying that that is not wrong. However, you still need medical attention along with prayer.
Okay. And it just comes down to using the wisdom that we're given. So I think it's awesome that you guys have that collaboration.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad that we were able to meet about this. Again, we just want you guys to know that it's Suicide Awareness Month. So look into some things around you guys in your community. See what your community is doing. See how you can get involved. Check on a friend that you haven't heard from. Check on that friend that's quiet. Check on the friend that is
strong.
always busy and strong and doing stuff. Because,
Right.
When you're that person that you're always taking care of someone, those sometimes they need
Yes.
someone for them because they have the many different hats that they wear. They take care of various people all day long, spouse, kids, people at work, various people. But at the end of the day, they don't have anyone to take care of them. So definitely check on that friend. But again, see what your community has available to you close by where you can participate. I believe there's a walk later on this month. NAMI,
Yes.
they're having a walk, and I don't know if that's just across.
I think it's across the board. I think
Okay.
it's across the board.
So
So it's
def-
different chapters.
Different chapters will be doing that, so definitely check that out. Go participate, go walk if you can. Probably donate to their cause.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Any cause, any donation, any nonprofit. As with her nonprofit, if you're local here and you know that it'll benefit our community, tell them your information so they know where to go to donate.
So I was just going to close out to let you guys know that I'm located in Dallas, Texas. However, since I'm being promoted on Facebook, I'm able to help across the country. country. So my information is hearmycryfoundation.org. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can actually go to my website to get an overview of my story. And then, like she said, please get involved. A lot of times we don't understand the importance of mental health, and mental health is very important, but often it's overlooked. So, with this being Suicide Prevention Month, I want everyone to go yellow. And then, if you would like to donate to an organization that you could actually see where your money is going, you could definitely donate to Hear My Cry Foundation. I'm a 501c3, so I'll be able to provide you all the tax write-offs that you need.
And before we check out, again, like I said, definitely look and see what your community has available. One Belief organization, we're all with mental health awareness, and they really go hand in hand, because if you're able to address the mental health beforehand, we shouldn't get to the suicide on the back end.
Exactly.
So make sure that you're talking about those things. I think, like I said earlier, it really comes down to, subconsciously we're taught that it shows a sign of weakness, so we don't talk about things that bother us. We kind of suppress them, and then everything kind of comes to a head, and that's not good. It's not healthy. It takes a toll on your body.
Yes, it does.
Especially anxiety. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Take some time, reflective time earlier in the day to kind of clear your mind. Plan your day out. Make sure that you are really thinking about what is driving those feelings of depression and anxiety. Write it out. Put a label on it. Put a tag with it. Identify it. Eliminate it.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
So I just want to leave you with this. Do not be quick to voice your opinion. If someone reaching out to you, sometimes it's just important to listen. A lot of times people just want you to listen and do not, tell them what they have, or tell them what makes you happy. So I just want to leave you with, when someone reach out to you, just listen. And a lot of times people saying, well, I don't know what to say. It's not about saying anything. It's basically just lending that ear to that person, because 9 times out of 10 when you talk to someone, and when someone's talking to you, they pretty much can figure it out on their own once they talk to someone and actually
there's
listening
something about talking it out.
Exactly. So just listen. I want to drive that. Listen. Be slow to talk and quick to listen.
We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so definitely. And then as for Mini Schools One Belief, we are wherever you need us to be. So it's minischoolsonebelief.com. Social media handles, Facebook and Instagram, Mini Schools One Belief. And you can catch us in October and May doing our thing with mental health awareness. But we're always around. We're always in the community. So anytime you ever need us, we provide literature with regards to mental health awareness and diversity, inclusion, and ways to solve conflict positively that don't resort in violence or anger. So that's what we're here for. So I'm so glad we were able to meet and do this.
Yes, I am. I'm excited as well. I know we're going to partner and do a lot of great things in our community for mental health.
So we will, for mental health and suicide. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, reach out to see if NAMI's doing something like a walk in your community, wherever you may be. And then also, if you need to reach us, again, your social media
is Hear My Cry Foundation.
And then I'm Mini Schools One Belief. So we'll be around. We'll be back. And again, this month is suicide awareness.
So go yellow.
Go yellow. Check on a friend. And, ponder your thoughts.
Lend an ear.
Lend an ear.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys later.
Bye. Love you.